Hello YouTubers. This is part 9 or maybe part 10. Anyways, this is who came up with the idea of the New World Order, and this might be my last video, I don't know. But I've been telling you how you can resist the New World Order and how it all started, who came up with the idea, uh, and who's behind it all. You know, Satan is behind it all. Who are his puppets? Uh, who are trying to push the New World Order to, come about. It's the Freemasons nowadays, who are mostly the politicians. Most of them are Freemasons in our government and in other countries. Uh, the Russian, uh, one of the Russian leaders back in World War II was a Freemason. Our president, after we won the war, World War II, they all met. Churchill was a Freemason, 33rd degree, and they all met together to sign a peace agreement, I guess, or whatever, a partnership or whatever. Who would divide, or who would get Germany, and the United States and England got part of Germany, and Russia got the other part, West Germany. And that's the reason why there was a wall put up. I can't think of the Russian, the Russian leader's name. He's real, Stalin, yeah, now I remember Stalin. He's real famous. He killed millions of people. And that was a, you could say, a New World Order there, you know? And that's what's trying to happen here. There's gonna be a New World Order here, but it's under the guise of, it's under the guise of democracy. You know, promoting freedom all over the world. But it's a Freemasonic plan devised from beginning with George Washington up until now. It's Freemasonic plan to take over the world, and for America to be the only superpower in this world. That's what I believe. That's what I think. And so far, that's how it looks. And tomorrow it could be different. I don't know. But the Bible does describe who are going to be the superpowers in the last days. The Bible does describe and talk about it. Daniel the prophet revealed it to King Nebuchadnezzar. He didn't know exactly who the last superpower would be in the last days, I don't think. But, he did tell King Nebuchadnezzar about the empires after his. The major empires, you know? And, I've also said that if you want to really truly resist the New World Order, you should give your life to the Lord. It doesn't matter who you are. We're not perfect. We weren't made to be perfect. God did not create us to be perfect. We were perfect when Adam and Eve were in the garden before they ate of the apple. They were perfect. They were like God, didn't know sin. But after they ate of the apple, they became sinful, like Satan, and were cast out of the Garden of Eden, like Satan was cast out of heaven. And I've talked about the supernatural, the reason why all this is happening. That we're seeing the New World Order. It's got a lot to do with the supernatural and how these people are being influenced by Satan. Our leaders in our government. And that's why they're trying to set up the New World Order. Because they believe Satan is their master. I'm saying it again for the thousandth time, so I hope you understand. you know, uh, so if you might be a truther, and I commend you to go because you're going out there and talking about resisting the New World Order and stuff like that. But I'll be honest with you, you're doing it in vain if you're not serving the Lord, if you didn't ask Him to forgive you, because the Bible says those that aren't serving the Lord and aren't forgiven of their sins will be under the control, supernaturally under the control of the Antichrist. They will not be able to resist him. Only the children of God will be able to resist him. And those who are the children of God will be hunted down and killed. So if you're a child of God and you're still around here when that happens, you're gonna be hunted down and killed. And and possibly it might happen to me too. Alex Jones says he's scared, he can die, they can kill him. Well, if you're not confessing the Lord, that He is Jesus, that He's the Lord of your life, they're not going to come look for you. Or they will, but then they'll ask you, are you a Christian? And you'll be like Peter, who denied that he knew the Lord and said, no, I'm not a Christian. Okay, so if you're not a Christian, you're going to take the mark? Yeah. So, those who don't confess that Jesus is Lord of their lives aren't going to be killed. They're going to be let go. They're going to be set free. But they're going to have the mark. And who knows what the mark is, okay? That's another argument. I saw a video of, Alex Jones a long time ago. Or, I mean, that he made a long time ago. I guess when he first started his libertarian movement, his truther movement, where he went to the DMV and to renew his license, and I live 8 hours away from him. I live in, I'm not gonna tell you where, and that's the honest truth. I do live 8 hours away from him. He went in to the building, the DMV, to renew his license, and they asked him for, you know, to scan his fingerprint, his finger, and he wouldn't scan it, and he was all scared. No, I ain't gonna do that. That's a mark. You people need to wake up. Your life, your freedoms are being taken away. I'm not gonna scan the finger. Why don't you just give me the license? You know, do you know actually what if that is the mark? I mean, or could it have been the fingerprint, the non-electronic fingerprint that was a mark? Or could it be our licenses? Could it be our credit cards or our debit cards that might have an RFID chip that contain all our information? Have you seen anybody actually being forced to get an RFID chip? Ask yourself those questions. Is it happening now? You know, people ask yourself those questions. Is it happening now? No, it's not. Stop living. Stop. Being in dreamland and wake up. We're not. Uh, we're not being held captive. We're not being put in any kind of prison right now. You know, we're not being forced to take any kind of mark yet. Someday it will happen. But I'm just trying to tell you, it's only going to happen to Christians. And Christians, like I said, means followers of Christ. Those of you who are not following Christ are not going to be killed. You're not going to be put in prison. In the past, uh, the 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 people that were killed were Christians, mostly Christians, Protestants that left the church, Catholic Church, when the Inquisition started. It's always been Christians. Non-followers of Jesus were always left alone. Okay? That's the honest truth. Which side are you gonna be on? You know? When this happens that you have to take the mark, are you gonna take the mark? Or I mean, that's hard, I know it's hard. I mean, just say if it happened tomorrow, the Antichrist all of a sudden appeared and took his place as ruler in the New World Order, one world government, and everybody had to take the mark in order to buy, sell, trade, or whatever, or else you'd be killed. And I was dragged to one of those sites. I mean, that would be hard. I would I'm being honest. It'd be hard for me to, say no, because you might be looking down at the barrel of a gun, firing squad, or they might have those guillotines set up so they can chop off your head. When you're facing death, you think about it, and maybe I might, I don't know, I might just say no, I'm not gonna take it. Who knows? But you can quickly change your mind when you're facing death, you know. I'm not saying that I will take it, but that's gonna be a real hard decision, you know. So I mean, uh, just think about it. What side are you gonna be on? Are you gonna be on God's side and then fight these Freemasons, these occult religions, or these people that are in the occult,